Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to pre-market analysis for Friday, October the 2nd, 2020. I'm your host, Alex. Here at Successful Trading, we aim to educate. As such, this morning, we are taking a look right now at a quant analysis study to figure out what's the best way to make money on SPY recently. Has that changed? Meaning, uh, I will tell you where this is coming from. Over this past week, and I will show you the data here. SPY has been gapping. The markets in general, SPY through SPY, we use SPY, you could use QQQ, has been gapping more than the range during the regular trading hours. So we want to see exactly the extent of that phenomenon and see how we can take advantage of that. So last full year. So we got the data from Yahoo Finance, as we have shown you in our bootcamp on September 7th. So we just went over the last year here from October 2nd, 2019. So what are we going to measure? We're going to measure the absolute gap, meaning the absolute value between the previous day close and the current day open. So I'm just going to go, these are some mathematical thing on here. So absolute value of what? The close, the previous close, it doesn't matter which way because it's the absolute value, right? And the open. Close versus open, basically, meaning that we gap up. This number is going to be, or maybe I should actually put it the other way around. That's where it should be easier for us to interpret. Open minus the previous close, yeah? So meaning if this number is positive, that means we gapped up. If it's negative, that means we gapped down. Just as simple as that, yeah? And so we measure that in points. And here I'm going to, let's say, put it in this nice color. I can increase the font, yeah? Such that, and then I'm gonna drag it. I don't want that many numbers really. A couple of numbers are okay. So, okay. So in average, so let me maximize this. In average here over the last year or so, it's telling us that this gives me the average. SPY has gapped an average of 284. So 2.44 points, meaning this gives you good indication under your study. So how to go about trading. I will explain. Let's finish the data here and then we interpret it. So here we're gonna say day of the week. So which day of the week? Yeah, because we can answer that question as well. So we're going to say day and then this number, meaning if we want to know, hey, is it a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever? Oops, nope. That's not the formula. Oops, undo, delete. Oops, I want to delete this whole thing. Actually, it doesn't matter. I will put the right formula there. Yeah, I knew that. So the right formula is it weekday? Yep. Because it has to ask us what's our preference. We did this already at bootcamp, if you guys remember. Yeah? Okay, so that was a Wednesday. So these numbers are between 1 and 5. So 1 is for Monday, 2 is for Tuesday, 3 is Wednesday, 4 is Thursday, and 5 is Friday. Okay? So how do we, can we quickly check that? Yesterday, for instance, October 1st, that was 4, that was a Thursday. That's what it means, yeah? Okay, so because we want to know which day of the week do they do it the most. I mean, here, if we want, we can put month as well. But it's not, I mean, yeah, because we can see from month to month that they have been varying that. So the month just gonna be 1 through 12, right? So we know that already. So here, I do this. Okay, maybe we put it in the same color. Okay, just to help us out. Now the day range. The day range just going to be the absolute in absolute value as well. Is going to be the difference, the distance between the high and the low of that same day. So really, it's gonna always be a positive number. But since it's an absolute value, but even if we take it from these points of you. So that's what this is here. So we again, I will explain why why we are doing this and how we actually will be using it, if you so elect, right? So for us, we provide data to help in quant analysis data to help into trading, into defining winning strategies. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So we have our numbers, and here what actually we're going to do, instead of me trying to tell you about, we are going to actually plot them. Yeah. So here I'm going to call it 0 because it's not defined. So I'm going to plot these things and then see if, let's say, recently something new has been changing or it is still the same. So insert. Well, if you're just catching us now, you're like, what is this guy doing? Yes, this guy is doing some quantitative analysis. Welcome to pre-market analysis on successful trading. It's currently 5:50 a.m. Pacific time in Southern California. It is 8:50 a.m. in New York City and in Toronto. Glad that you are with us on this first Friday of October 2020. So we are taking a look at a quantitative analysis to help us through SPY, to help us understand which strategy has been best over the last year or so on SPY, trading, taking a swing trade or trading the intraday movement. So the intraday movement is what we have. Oh boy, if I'm struggling here. So I could just, I could do that, but come on, SPY. The intraday movement is the one that is in orange, I believe so. And the gaps are the one that are in blue. So the idea is for us to see what's the best way to trade SPY. Either you trade it for overnight gap or do you wait for the move for intraday. We are almost done on here on this chart. All I need to go do is add a dates rather here. So my dates are here. We started exactly as a full year view. That's we aim to do October 2nd, 2019 to up to currently. And here in my series, I'm just going to say the first series is the gaps, so that's in blue. And the second series is the day trade range. Okay, fantastic. That's all we ever wanted. Yeah, hopefully I'm sharing the right screen. Perfect. Okay. And can we make this bold a little bit? Come on, I just want to make it look nice. And maybe these, where do we put them? We put them on top. Okay, and let's say I like to do this. Okay. All right, so you can guess both the gaps and the day trade range, obviously, between the month of March, that's where there were variation, right? Recently in September, same thing. But the conclusion on here is definitely that, hey, trading the day trade range on SPY has yielded more bigger moves than the overnight gap. The overnight gap average here over the last year, it's about that's the first one. So I saw it earlier. The overnight move is about 2.4 points. So meaning if you are generous with the standard deviation, you will say 3 points if you are trading overnight gap. And then the day range itself, meaning the difference between the high and the low intraday, it's 5 points, 4 points. So meaning that for you, when you are trading the gangster, you have made more money. Now, obviously, this is biased by this. This data set is biased by this. So meaning that for us, we can really to use other numbers, that those average abides by this, right? You can look at this period here before and this period after to remove that. But look at this here. This is the visual thing that I wanted to show you, right? Look at how the so-called ATR, right? Because that's related to it. The day range, the highest points trading point in the day versus the lowest trading point. Look at how it has spiked early September on here, where it was beginning to resemble something like that. It didn't carry quite hard, but are we about to witness another such spike? And this is a visual representation of that. Actually, with this data, I think I'm ready to either write a brand new article or that I'm gonna post on the Successful Trading blog, or update the previous article that, remember, Mr. B was asking me if that strategy still worked. Yeah, so 3 points overnight on SPY. It's actually, and we can determine that probability, right? Because we can count the number of times, and then we can determine here which day is best suited for that. So for instance, if we go here, and I just want to actually mathematically do that. So in September, that just finished, what was the average? In September, the average was 2.3 points. We only had 1 day, 2 days where overnight we jump in absolute value, meaning I'm not taking into account the direction here, but just in terms of point, because obviously if you strangle it, you want to know how many points you go, right? So we've only had the entire month, well, more than 5 points once, more than 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, which is not bad. Whereas the intraday move, look at the intraday move, the difference between the high and the low, 6.64. This gave us a good indication about the ATR of SPY even after it opens. Yeah, we don't have to take chance, but let's say at the beginning of the day, if let's say or the close, because this one is intraday, the high and the low. So at the beginning of the day, aka if you are using a gangster trade, at 6.64 points has been the average so far over the last how many days? 21 trading days on here. All right, so I'm hoping that's for an introduction to this morning pre-markets analysis. Some of you got a little bit of that because I wanted to do that. I don't know how many people were on board. So now I'm switching back. You guys are still seeing that Excel spreadsheet with that quant analysis. I'm switching back to the YouTube studio to see that in the live chat we have Miss Dora. How are you? Thank you for being here. Mr. Thomas, hello. Mr. Wayne, always there. Hey, Miss Michelle, how are you? How is Europe? Mr. V, glad to see you, sir. Hope everything went fine. And I'm assuming that the sound is okay, as I didn't quite get a chance to check that with you guys as people were coming in. So again, welcome to pre-market analysis for October 2nd. Yeah, so we closed yesterday. Well, the full week. Let's go ahead and switch screens on here and take a look at the chart where we closed and what to look for this on this trading day. So here's the daily chart. I'm gonna just wait for it to somehow sync with you guys. So this is a summary of what has been happening all this week. So from last Friday, where we closed at 328, we gapped up on Monday, and the intraday range was small, meaning we gapped up more than the intraday range. That's actually what got me to do this study, because that's something that for me I was like, wow, the market makers are. So the gap was 4.45 points, and the intraday trade was 2.81. That's not what the study is telling us. The study is telling us that typically we move more intraday than overnight gap. Yeah, but this past Monday, that wasn't the case. And then yesterday, same thing. Yesterday, the intraday, no, yesterday not quite. Yesterday the gap was 2.80 in absolute value, and the intraday move was 3.73. And the day before that, the intraday move was 5 points, and the day before that, it was 3 points. But I mean, that gives you an idea overall of the move that we have gotten. But back to the chart. The chart on here we went sideways the first 2 days. We posted a high on Wednesday at 338, and that's high sold off. Yeah, it's sold off badly because we gave back more than what we gained or initially. And then yesterday there was another gap, and then throughout the intraday trade was actually very, very tight. We went off of a high of 338. Again, that same 338. So meaning 2 times we have been to 338 and we have been rejected. And it went as low as 335 before settling at 337 with the last hour ramp-up closing. And this morning, Lord behold, right now, if let's say this data is accurate, we are going to take a look inside of Power trades very shortly on here. Pre-market here is 331.05, meaning from a close of 337.04, that's 6 points as of now. Again, it's currently 9:01 a.m. Eastern time in New York, where the market is set to open in less than 30 minutes or so. So the question is, what's in store for the markets on here? QQQ. Just a quick check on QQQ before we go into the Power trade to actually take a look at what's going on. So QQQ closed yesterday. QQQ was strong yesterday, unlike SPY, right? But granted, it was after gapping, we gapped from 277 to 281 over 4 points. Yeah, after gapping, QQQ trying to close the gap, but really it was a strong support the entire day. It wasn't moving much, but was support between a 2-point range, between 280 and that's 282 something, literally between 281 and 282. It was a 1-point move. That's what a QQQ spend is there. And this morning, here it is. It's currently losing almost 7.6 point something points and has been at that level since the early hours of pre-market. So consistently flashing at 275 something, which is 275 is important because it's the daily moving average 20. 8 actually, yeah, both moving average, the AMA 8, meaning the average price over the last 8 day and the average price over the last 20 day, they are virtually identical. 275.60 for the EMA 8, 275.32. And guess where we are opening this morning at 275.70. So something has to give here. This is a perfect scenario for us as traders, right? Because either, let's say, this direction that we are starting now is going to continue, and we don't care about the direction of the market per se to make money. We just want movement. That's important as traders, right? So at least that's how I approach the market. You may have a different philosophy on how to approach the market. So let's say if we go back to SPY and apply the results of our little research here, even if we just use the last 4 days, as such, the intraday range is about 4 points. So 4 points from where we are right now at 331. So that's 327. So you can, not 337, like 327. Yeah? Yeah. So you apply 4 points for your probable intraday move on SPY, and you take stronger. But I just want to provide a nuance here right now, right? So for me, I remember we always, let's say you can do the same day, right? But for me, I'm already thinking about Monday. Yeah, I'm thinking about Monday and what potentially could be happening. We know this market typically it rallies at some point. Yeah, so meaning for me, as of now, I'm gonna try here in this early open because we saw that last Friday. They may post a hard low very quick, and then they ramp up this market. We don't want to fall for that, yeah? Because when the market has done something before, and it's bound to do it again, we don't want to fall for that. So for me, as of now, on my calls, I want to take my calls for Monday in my gangster trade. Yeah. Because then I'm gonna offset the price, right? So the calls right now are the cheapest one. So for Monday, for me, I'm gonna try to be on the hypothesis that hey, I'm gonna put in a limit order to say, okay, we may post a low here, a deep low, I don't know, 325 or whatever, and then they buy the dip from there because that's what they do, folks. That's what they do. We have seen it all along. So that will not be something new. That happened last Friday. So again, I'm going to offset my expiration dates in my way to approach SPY against this morning. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, please, let's ask questions. We have about 10 minutes to do that. Ask me any question about any strategy that you want to employ this morning to attack this market on here. And I will oblige to the best of my ability. Good morning, Mr. York. Guten Abend. Herr York. Wie gehen Sie heute? Yes, I used to do first language at German. Yes, I grew up in Europe, folks, in case you guys are not, some of you who do not know. So German, actually, at one time of my life, I was speaking more German than English. So, all right. Any questions? Any questions? As we see a slew of late arrivals coming, so welcome to the pre-market. I pasted the link inside of our Discord, so hopefully there was no confusion on there. So actually, while we are doing that, let's go and actually take a look inside of Power E-Trade of the exact levels where, let's see, that's secondary monitor. We want the primary monitor, and we want to go inside of Power E-Trade. Yes. Good morning, Mr. Wayne. So the plan is to buy QQ and SPY calls for next week. No, Mr. Wayne. No. And it's not the plan. It's not. I mean, I'm just giving suggestions here, right? You guys remember, right? You can do. I'm trying to give orientation. So here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that right now the market is gapping as we trade a gangster trade on gaps, right? So on gaps, like on the day today, the one approach is to say that, hey, I need to take both puts and calls. Yeah. But for me, what I'm suggesting, and you can actually do both. Most likely I may do both because, hey, I want somehow to think about Monday and what potentially they could be doing for the rest of the day here by using Monday expiration on the calls of my gangster trade. Yeah, because SPY has expiration Monday, meaning that calls are going to be very cheap, relatively speaking here. If we dip, I want to take advantage of that dip. So meaning I'm going to leave that order for Monday longer than anything. So, but it's going to be a super cheap, the cheapest possible on whatever strike that I pick. And if you want what strike I could pick for the calls, I mean, we came from 337, right? So I'm going to pick the 340. Yeah, 10 points at least. The 340 or whatever. I want them super cheap. When I say super cheap, I'm not spending more than 5 cents on them. But should I do that and should I get a feel if at some point they decide to rally this market today, which they have been known to do, yeah? Because with the news that came, I mean, let's get the elephant out of the room. The news came that the president has COVID-19 virus. So I think that's the reason for the market gapping down. So the market is taking the news I don't know, in stride or whatever, but as of now, it's minus 2.41% on QQQ and minus 1.9% on SPY. And what I've saw on SPY is that, like, I saw the major component of SPY, which are SPY, Microsoft. Some of them are down more than 3%, but yet SPY is only down half of that. That's, to me, it's iffy. That doesn't add up. That doesn't jive. So hopefully I clarified, it's clear, Mr. Wayne, on at least that's a suggestion that I want to make. For me, I want to corner this market that whatever they do, I make money out of it. A moving market is an opportunity to make as much money. If we talk about greed is that this one is just to maximize the opportunity that's in front of you. So SPY is down minus 1.8%. We need to trade thinking about what could happen. So from here, SPY can go down minus 3%. Or SPY can recover all of the losses and close at flat. In that case, if you set yourself up with those calls for Monday, they are not going to be victim of theta decay versus the calls for today. Does that make sense? And then you can sit tight. And if, let's say, they are buying up the late, especially in the last 2 hours, they're buying up the market, you already have a position that starts appreciating. To me, the gap range, look at, again, you are looking at the screen right now. SPY is down minus 1.8%. QQQ is down minus 2.4%. That's delta there telling us something. And I've been watching this pre-market for over 2 hours now. I mean, that's what these market makers they do. So hopefully that's clear. Let me quickly take a look at And we share the study with you. If hopefully you were able to gather the study with the exact number in terms of the absolute range or that you can use, right? So this is these are they. So the one that's slugging the most is ZOP XOP, the oil and gas exploration ETF. We have seen that before. That's something that really has just been bearish. Remember the river split this thing, and then it was trading at 50. Now it's going back down like crazy. So for us here, one stock that's part of that. If we go to our watch list, I mean, quietly, you guys can check again because when I post things, I think HAL, Halliburton, was one of our lot this week. I think yesterday definitely went thin bagger, right? And with the movement this morning on here, it's trading at 1066. What did we have as Halliburton? We were trading the 11.5 puts. So yesterday, I remember I traded the 12 puts, sold them, traded the 11 puts. They were playing games with them, and I was sitting tight. I have a ton of them this morning here. Kid you not, I have a ton of them. So I'm very excited to say here what's how low they can take this thing. Because if you look at the chart of HAL, when the March time frame came, that thing sold off badly. Went from $20 to like $6 in a matter of 4 weeks. So that's interesting. At the end of the day here today, depending on where they're closed, I may take a position for end of 4 weeks. Yeah, end of October, early, actually, November, whatever, November 6 or whatever. And I'm going to say 5 puts on it or something. That's yeah, I was looking at this chart yesterday. So yeah, we see here then a lot of things. A lot of things are definitely bearish this morning. So anything bullish? Yes, there's one. Because I was like, hey, there's always, the market can be red, whatever. There's going to be a stock that's, I'm not sure. I don't see that they had earnings. So I don't know about the news. I should know about the news that got Twilio to jump up 21%. So this is interesting to me, right? When I see something like this, it makes me think. 21 points. Okay. I mean, this thing can jump, like you jump here, it stay there. But as selling pressure for the rest of the market continues, my friend, I am of the proponent that let me throw some pennies at this on the put side, of course. You know, I mean, meaning that eventually, the hypothesis is that eventually this thing will crack and go down as well, because if the rest of the markets keep under selling pressure. Conversely, if the markets actually start rebounding, this thing can really blossom. I think yesterday, after hours, I saw 10%. But again, guys, I'm sorry about that. I don't track the news on the stock, what's making them move. I made mention that Twilio was up. At the time, the futures were nothing was happening with the future like what we are seeing right now. So for me, I just say, hey, it could be a potential for a gangster trade. So definitely potential for a gangster trade here with a bias on the put side, because the rest of the market is bearish and this one is bullish. As usual, folks, if you have a phobia of red color, we have said this again. I'm going to remind you, you can change the colors of your. Let me go to my screen and show you those of you who may have missed that. You can change the color of your candles from red to blue. Yeah? Do not use the other colors that people use. The other colors that resemble me. So let's go in here and show you how I do that on TradingView. Yeah? I think I have to go through settings. So the body, as of now, green and red. I don't want, let's say I have a phobia of red, I'm going to go blue. Yeah. And then the borders. So, and then change my borders to blue as well. Change everything to blue in that candle. After all, I mean, blue, royal blue is the color of blood for the kings, for royalty. Yeah. Ta-da. That's it. Then phobia of red resolved. Yeah? Okay, folks. They had pre-earning guidance. All right. Thank you, Mr. Wayne, for the news. So Twilio had pre-earning guidance. Go figure, yeah? Great day for them to have pre-earning guidance. No kidding. So that's fantastic. So let's see what happened with that. Well, oh yeah. Mrs. Gott, I just joined while I was rambling on what. So good evening to you in Douala, and which we will talk. We will talk tomorrow or later today. Okay, folks, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes of time. There's a lot, obviously, to process depending on how you position yourself yesterday. But I'm hoping that with the discipline that we impart on you on here, you are going to come from the right side of it. But if not, I mean, regardless if you had a trade on or not, this year at the beginning of the day of a market that's already moving, I mean, again, every day they bring in new things. But a market that's already moving, we have a way to set up trades with confidence on here that, well, we come ahead in either direction that they're speaking. Hopefully you get something out of this. We had that quant analysis on SPY. We're gonna write a new article on it and update it, because if let's say this trend on here, remember, right? We had the trend below daily on SPY. That's what's going on, and then the last 4 days of this week broke it out. Now it looks as if it is about to be back on here, because the moving average here on SPY, the daily moving average is at 334, 332.90 for the yellow line, or 333 thereabout, and we're opening at 331. So it will be interesting. One possibility, they can go and target, and then before maybe going down or else. But it will be interesting on here on this new days. October 2nd. That's it for our pre-market analysis for October 2nd, 2020. We appreciate you. For those who are catching the playback, please subscribe, and for your chance to be part of the draw in at the end of October, to get a free month of subscription at Successful Trading. We will reveal the winner of the month of September this Saturday. We will record it on Saturday. I'm just going to come here in front of the camera and put all the names in that we have, and then draw what name and make that available on the video. The person will recognize themselves. Good morning, Mickey, and goodbye.